Welcome, Amakhosi Network. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be chatting about something I saw having gone to Stars of Africa Academy and seeing how they're doing trials recently, which has been really good. And also we're going to be discussing like few things here and there that we want to just chat about. And that is also Patrick Maswanganyi, Ngcobo and Zwane, and what I picked up in the Bafana game, which is goes back to my argument. But before we get to that, please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for joining the channel, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And please continue to support the channel. And as you know, I'm trying to get a number of you to participate in the channel, to put you onto the video so we can debate about Chiefs, etc., etc. So if you want to be part of the channel, join the Instagram channel, inbox me and say, I want to chat about it. We do a 30-minute video where you discuss your perspective, I discuss my perspective. We find solutions for Kaizer Chiefs, and then we move from there. But let's get to the meat of the bones. So a lot happened. Just to give you context, because before I jump into the topic of Stars of Africa, I was watching the Bafana game. I stayed up until 1 a.m. watching the Bafana game. What can I rate the game? The game was not good. We played low quality opposition. It was kind of like watching Kaizer Chiefs versus Milford. It was basically that. It was Kaizer Chiefs versus Milford. Milford and this Andorra team, or teams that didn't play or couldn't play, I don't know. They just had one player who was trying, but it was just energy, not that they were quality. And then we had Bafana, who just were poor. Like they were just poor. But it goes back to what I always say, and you guys were arguing with me. Patrick Maswanganyi went from Soweto Derby to killing people in the Nedbank Cup to what he was yesterday. Now ask yourself, as good as Patrick Maswanganyi is, why did he end up playing that football that we saw yesterday? And it's simple. Goodman Musele, Thabang Munnar. Those two players that played for his Bafana killed Maswanganyi's game. Those two players and the right wing, who I think is, I forgot his name, but is from Amazulu. The reason why I say this is because Patrick Maswanganyi would have had a better game if he played with the Sundowns players, because the Sundowns players know how to move the ball, they are comfortable on the ball, they know how to move players, they know the movement, etc., similar to what he has at Orlando Pirates. Now, this goes back to my argument as to why Ngcobo has actually been a very good player. It's just that the players around him are not good enough. Because yesterday we saw Maswanganyi and a lot of people were disappointed. A lot of people have been rating Maswanganyi based on yesterday's game, and I said it's unfair. I said for me it's unfair to rate Maswanganyi on yesterday's game. People are disappointed. They said they expected more. I'm like, guys, Maswanganyi is a combination player. He's meant to bring in the team and make the team come together and play. But if the people around you are not built there to play, he's not someone who's going to just outrun everyone. He has to play off people. That's how Maswanganyi plays. But if you have Thabang Munnar and Musele who do back passes, and then you're only playing really with Mashego on the left wing and Utapelo Morena as a right wing, as a midfielder, when you drop and collect from Tapelo Moreno or Mashego, when you turn and there's no one up front, you end up passing back to Umusele, or you end up passing to Thabang Munnar. And when you do that, what tends to happen? Nothing develops in the game. Because Maswanganyi tried to come and collect, but when he returned, there would be no players around him just to do a quick 1-2, etc. So that's just what I wanted to add to the discussion that we've been having. Guti, I always argue that Ngcobo would actually do well at Sundowns because of the quality and the players around him. They allow him to be free, and when you play with quality players, it unlocks your ability just to be that great, you know? So in saying that, I still say until we see Ngcobo playing with top quality players and top quality coaching, I still feel his potential is way greater than what people have seen so far, just because of what he achieved with the Champions League, taking Chiefs to a final with that SWAC team that we had, and all of those things. But, and Maswanganyi, I will say this, Maswanganyi, I hope you get to play against Algeria with the whole Sundowns crew there, because I feel like that will give Hugo Bros a better account of, because that game yesterday was terrible. But anyway, other than that, I want to say this, and this is to the youth that play soccer. I went to the Stars of Academy trials yesterday just to see how it's going, etc. And when I got to the Stars of Academy trials, I saw some good talent. I saw some. We have a long way to go in development. That's one thing I'll say. Our players, I'll be very critical with our young players. Our young players play soccer just because it's a hobby and it's a different mindset to Europe. In Europe, when a player goes and plays soccer, they play because they want to be the best, they view it as a job, etc. When you go to Stars of Academy and all of these things and you watch the academy, their parents are more serious than their kids. Their kids were just there go jive to say I was at Stars of Academy and said, but like the parents are like seriously believing what my child, if my child is that good, this is life changing. If my child makes it to Pirates, Stars of Academy, goes overseas, this will bring our family out of poverty. But the kids don't understand it. What is the biggest thing? Kids can't save themselves from the environments they are in. This is also a thing, a shot at Kaizer Chiefs. But listen to this. Kids can't save themselves from the environments they are in. If I come from Ekasi or I just come from wherever and people don't take football serious, they get on, when you're playing soccer, they go and they step on the ball, they get on their knees and they do all these things, and then they expect to be football stars. That player is going to come wanting the desire to be a football star, but he only knows is that's all he knows. That's all the football he knows. And that's the thing. Our players are not developed. There's so many things like scanning, like one touch, like body language, like going and approaching the ball. Like there's all these little habits that Euro players learn at such a young age that I saw 14, 15-year-olds, etc., struggle to have. Because if we have to be honest, the player from Barcelona, Abo Yamal, Abo Gavi, Abo Pedro, etc., or Pedri, sorry, all these guys, Foden, etc., these guys, by the age of 15, 16, they did not have problems with scanning, moving, body language, taking on player, moving into space, etc., etc. But in our game, we can't do that. Our youngsters, I watch so many of those little interval plays, etc. And when I watch them, I'm like, a lot of these boys here are not even close to being ready, but they are 14 and 15-year-olds. But like they, in terms of if this is the PSL, if this is the PSL, these boys aren't even here. If this is the PSL, these boys aren't even here. I don't know how much I can make an example of how far back some of these 14 and 15-year-olds are, which is why academies like Stars of Africa is important, because they try to bridge the gap. But the difference is that if there's a trial, what happens with a trial is this. A trial goes to pick the best person who is there. But sometimes the true quality of a player is a player who doesn't know what they have to do to be good. Sometimes it's finding that player that doesn't know what they require to be good, but they have more potential than a player who just comes from an environment where they played more structured football and they look like they now know what to do, then get selected by Stars of Academy, then fall through the cracks because they don't really have a football brain, etc. But then the player with the football brain just doesn't come from a world of structure, so they just play in J. But you'll find good, they have the physique, they have the intelligence, they have the patience, they have the IQ, etc., to be top quality players. But because of lack of development, this is what happens. So that's what I picked up from the academy, etc. And also there's going to be a launch of an interesting website that tracks young players and development players. I believe the website is going to be called Ushugela. I'll keep giving you more tips and then more videos on that. I'll even link some videos in the description so you can see that the website is called Ushugela, and there's going to be some interesting information that I bring you from that channel, from that website. Amakhosi.